My name's Eros Lynn, and I'm the director of Heartstopper.
I'm Patrick Walters, and I'm an executive producer of Heartstopper.
I think once I'd met the characters in the comics and in the scripts, I had such high hopes and real great expectations of who the actors would be to play them. And we wanted to find a cast that was truly diverse, that represented the characters authentically.
Casting Heartstopper authentically was the absolute priority. It was the only way we could have ever done it. The spirit of the piece is all about making people who don't feel seen. So in terms of actors embodying the roles, you know, a character like Elle, there's only one way you can cast that character, and that extends across all of the parts in that we found someone who has an essence of that character in them.
When you tell a story, as a director, you're not by yourself. You rely on a huge team of designers, of photographers, of makeup, hair, loads of people. And I wanted as many of those people as possible to be from the LGBTQ+ communities, so they could bring their experiences and identify the bits of the story that can only be from an LGBTQ perspective.
I'm Jeffrey Ingold, and I was the LGBT consultant on the Netflix production of Heartstopper. Being involved in something like Heartstopper for me and for a charity like Stonewall is important because we can help give a more authentic view of the context in which the show is happening, so it doesn't feel like this is, you know, a drama that's happening over here. It is based in the reality of what kids are going through. So we did a lot of conversation and training around what was happening in schools these days. So particularly for the cast, they could take that into the roles, and for the crew, they could also understand why this show matters and what it's going to mean to the audience who watch it.
And what that meant is that we had brilliant sounding board in Stonewall, reading scripts, talking to crew, talking to cast, making sure that we'd all been trained in the appropriate language, the appropriate way to cultivate a safe space that has LGBT mindedness at its forefront.
It's so nice to see that the cast have all become such good friends. You don't know if that's going to happen. They might all hate each other. But in this case, they've just really bonded, like, immediately. They all get along so well. And it just makes a really positive, lovely atmosphere on set where everyone's having a good time and everyone's supporting each other, because it's a big thing to be cast in a Netflix show.
It's incredibly important for us as LGBTQ+ people to have our stories represented on screen. TV and film is the art form of our age.
It gives people like me a chance to see ourselves reflected and our younger selves reflected, and that was something that I was robbed of when I was growing up. I didn't get to see, you know, two boys in school having a fun, nice time and showing that that was a possibility. And if you can't see that when you're growing up, you don't think you can have it. And that the damage and trauma that that can do is a lot. So I think the hope that this show will give to lots of young LGBT kids is hugely important, and Netflix is going to make sure that that's seen so widely.
That's scene complete. That is a picture wrap. Thank you so much. Well done.